Anything else you want to talk about with Star Trek?
Spoiler
Beyond?
stuff?
No. Well, okay, yeah. Let's get into a little bit. I don't really have much spoiler stuff to talk about. Do you want to spoil it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a few spoilers here. Skip ahead. I think it's only probably... I'll put like a musical thing. I thought about this to make it easier for people if they're skipping. If they hear like a little music thing in the back. No, it'll be playing throughout the whole thing. So here the music is starting. Oh, that's nice. We don't hear it, but you hear it. So we're going to talk about some spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, skip ahead. And I'll put stuff in the notes to let you know where we stopped talking about it. Okay, so what do you want to talk about with spoilers? For me, the only thing I really want to talk about is I love the motivation of the bad guy.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It all made sense because what really frustrated me about the second one and why this one is better is like it's not Khan. Okay, it's not Khan. It's not Khan. And
right,
it's like,
and
it
it's
is Khan.
Course, right.
And like it was. I
like his motivation though too.
Yeah, but it's not as good as this character. It was totally out of left field. It was totally unexpected. Where Khan was, you saw that coming from a mile away.
Right.
So this is totally different. And like you said, his motivations were excellent. It all made sense within the story.
No, but it's cool the idea of like, okay, we think about if the Federation happened and like we stop having war and we were able to, basically the holodeck could make everything we want. We could start focusing on the 5-year mission to go see the.
Well, that's what the TV shows were always about, like
right.
To boldly explore strange new worlds. But the first two movies never did that. But it wasn't until the end of the second movie. Now
they were dealing with like a threat, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's cool about this is like, well, there's some ramifications of that. It's kind of like what we talk about, like driverless cars. Like there's some like all of that technology is great, but like you're hurting an industry.
Yep.
And in here, the character obviously, if you've seen it again, spoiler alert, him being a soldier and like there's no more battlefield. You're not needed. And he's like, they just put me in a ship. Like I'm the square peg in a round hole. Like I'm
a soldier. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, it's not about, they didn't care about me. They cared about moving society forward. But what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a interesting
not
question.
Not only that, but that's exactly what Kirk was doing.
Right.
He'd be like, I'm going to be an admiral. I don't want to do the ship. And at the very end, it's like, they don't get to fly around and do anything? Never mind. I'm going to keep my ship.
Right, because he enjoys the adventure. He has a bit of the soldier in him, too. I will say there's parts of this movie where I'm like, everybody, like, I get it. They're Federation trained and stuff. I'm like, for a society that doesn't deal with war very often, everyone's very well trained in hand-to-hand combat.
Right? Like the communications officer is kicking these aliens' ass. I'm like, okay, Zoe Saldana, do your thing.
I know, but it's just like... What? And they have like armor on. That's fine. I'm not going to let that. But I loved the set pieces here were really well done. I like the planet that they were on. I like the idea of that the ship was there. Like, how was the ship there? Oh, he put it there. It was like not crash landing because I'm like, how does he not know about the ship? And her like doing the refracting stuff. And they did it really cool in the movie.
He's like, oh, hello, my old friend. When he saw the ship flying and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like it's just like, and that's the thing. Like, you don't get that until the end. Like there's little things. Okay, we got to talk about the Beastie Boys song. So cool.
Stupid. Just like the Fast and Furious movies and stuff, it's dumb. That whole sequence, it was dumb, but it was fun.
I actually, thematically it makes sense because this idea if everybody was if they're flying that close together to like create like a larger thing, they have to have like a hive mind, and if you could somehow wreck that, like they would just smash into each other.
No, I understand.
Right, but that's like. The Beastie Boys things, that's the Justin Lin part. But it's a cool callback to the original movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Where he's in the old Mustang and he's playing it and throws the top off and then jumps out of the car at the very end. Like, and he even says, the weird thing in this is they're like, is this classical music? I'm like, that's where I was like, too on the nose. I was like, you didn't need to do that. But, Carl Urban,
when the ship is surfing a wave of the alien ships, all exploding in their way,
and they do like the corkscrew through.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so ridiculously awesome. Like, I love it.
Right, and that's why I think he knows like when to strike that chord because it could come off really bad and really cheesy and cringeworthy. But for some reason, I think it's because it's like he embraces like, oh yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I know that, but
like,
it's fun.
Right, and so in the non-spoiler part, we kept talking about the interactions with the characters like Carl Urban and what's his name,
Zachary Quinto
they should do like a show together because they are
right? I want to see like their side movie, their hijinks and
so funny, like holy crap. Like
and Bones is always funny. He's always like, I don't care,
yeah, no, but that's
grumpy and stuff.
No, but I literally, there's so many times I laughed with those two characters. Like I want them to go on an away mission together. Like every time they went on, I was like, please bring those two together. Like and Simon Pegg is great, and he wrote part of him.
And you could tell because there are definitely more Simon Pegg or Scotty lines in this, but there is it for everyone. But yeah, he helped co-wrote the movie,
and he has moments like his stuff like Spaced and Shaun of the Dead where it's like, it's that observational humor, and then like kind of messes with it, like keeps going on. It's just I really enjoyed this movie. I think Star Trek is in such a good place because it definitely it asks big questions, and it does it subtly, which is good because you don't want to like beat your audience over the head with it. It's got enough action. I think Justin Lin was a good pick because it kind of like, okay, now here's the action, like. And like that first scene when they hit the ship with all the little hive ships, and how the makeup was good. It didn't feel like too overdone. There was one part where I was like, oh, it's a little overdone. But when you oh god, I can't remember the specific part. When they're coming in and he lands on the ship and he like looks up. I don't know if it's just the lighting. And I think maybe it was the first time I saw him.
When Kroll gets out of the ship.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this looks a little. And also the thing with the head crab thing.
No, that was disgusting.
Right, but it's also
kind of Alien.
Right, but there's parts of it where I'm like, and I think this is ultimately just a problem with having seen so many science fiction properties. I'm like, oh, that alien looks like a Solarian from blah blah blah, from Mass Effect, and it's like, no, Star Trek was first, buddy. But it's cool. I like, and there's so much of a universe built in this. And when you go to Yorktown, I swear that was one of the most beautiful, like. Pan over the city and like the people and everyone's like
seeing the skyscrapers like on the bottom and on the top,
look gorgeous. And then when they're just going through like to dock
under the water,
yeah, it's just so cool, man. I was like, this is so cool. The world building in this is fantastic. So
JJ is already talking up the fourth one. He said it's gonna be the best in the Kelvin timeline. I don't know who's directing it though. Chris Hemsworth is coming back.
Oh, they're gonna do like a prequel.
So they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do time travel or something.
Yeah, the whole thing with Ambassador, I get it. It's obviously a big tip of the hand to Leonard Nimoy passed away.
Well, I think that's cool. So like,
no, it is
you
cool.
got the picture of the old crew and stuff. It's cool that all that happened in the canon,
right?
But this is the offshoot, the Kelvin timeline again.
Right,
so they're making their own
universe,
thing, but keeping all the original stuff and making it work.
Right, and that's cool. It's just kind of, it's going to confuse a lot of people.
I don't think it will.
I think it will. Because the time travel thing was already kind of confusing. The alternate unit reality with the Romulans and going into the black hole and all that stuff.
Yeah, but they explained it well enough.
Yeah, 2 movies ago. I'm saying for the general audience, I think it's going to be like, what? Leonard Nimoy?
We gotta go back and watch those movies.
No,
if you're a fan.
No. But I think, again, it's just so good. They don't beat you over the head with it. And the whole idea of like, it's that movie where everybody doesn't know if they want to keep doing what they're doing, and then they go through this mission together and they realize, no, I do want to do this.
And I'm actually glad that this did so well, because this summer has been a lot of bombs this summer of sequels and all this kind of stuff. So,
really,
you don't agree?
No, I think there's been some really good movies this summer.
The sequels.
Maybe not. I don't know. I've been watching
a lot of bus this year.
You know what it is? I think it's TV's catching up, like we talked about earlier. Okay, so we're done with the spoilers.
Yeah.
TV. I think TV's catching up with movies. Speaking of TV
and more movies.
Yeah, exactly. We wanted to do our story of the century
of the week.
Yeah, always a good line there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week's story of the century of the week is San Diego Comic-Con.